This is In Your Business with Neil Howard, and you just got me today. And we're going to do a deep dive into the phrase, make your money hard to spend. Let's get into it. Every time I get money thing, I invest wherever the money comes from. I want to be in control of my money. I want to sit down. I want to dream with my wife and go over plans, and I want to be good stewards of it. And also, I want to give like no one else. So on the last podcast episode, me and my brother sat down and we talked really good about money. And one of the phrases I used was, make your money hard to spend. And that resonated with a lot of people. And they came up to me afterwards several times. Several different people said like, hey, that was a really good line. That really, resonated with me. But so I want to do a deep dive into what that means and how I manage my money and my philosophy on it. So I think you're going to get a lot of really good nuggets of information out of this. I tell anybody I can about this. So there's a couple different points that I want to make about your money. First, your income is so important and such a huge tool. Don't see your income as like, oh, I got this money coming in and now I have to pay all my bills. I have to pay this or whatever. It's like your income is a tool. You should step back, look at how much you're making, and figure out a way to get rid of a portion of it as fast as you can. And I mean get rid of it. Like you could spend it, but your spending should be on investments or some kind of safe haven like silver or something like that, because you mentally need to pretend like you're making 80% of what you actually make. So unless you're in a dire situation, you should first get out of debt if you can. But most middle class people to middle lower class, middle upper class, they're trapped into, they get 100% of their money in and then 100% goes out sporadically. They really have no idea where their money's going. And this is a good way to start getting control over it, because most of it, we eat our money away. We go on unnecessary vacations or buy unnecessary things because we just see the monthly payment and yeah, we can afford it. Monthly payments are the definition of lifestyle creep. The minute more money comes in, we start seeing that income go up a little bit. We get bonuses, we get raises. We start adding in new monthly payments because it doesn't seem like too bad, $100, $200. But first, everything you buy has more expenses that come with it, especially cars. You got your sales tax, you got your maintenance and gas, etc. You have so much stuff with that. And everything else you buy really does have the same kind of maintenance. You get a new fridge, you got to buy these filters, you got to buy all the special stuff that goes with almost any big purchases. So monthly payments are lifestyle creep. And what lifestyle creep is that you make $80,000 a year, you get a $10,000 a year bonus. Now you're making $90,000 a year and your money is still gone because you let something else creep in that you didn't need right away, and you didn't let the new normal of your new income settle. Theoretically, if you were making $80,000 a year and then $10,000 appears every year from now on, you should be able to save and get rid of that money as fast as you can. I'm going to show you how to do it. So basically the strategy is this. Every time you get a paycheck, you take a portion of that and you invest it in something that makes it hard for you to retrieve or get back. So it stops yourself from making those stupid purchases, those irrational purchases, because you're always going to kind of be in an artificial panic mode when your money is leaving that fast. And our money leaves so fast anyways. We go out and we spend and more than we have. And we get in that panic mode anyways. And my goal with making it hard to spend is to artificially get you in that panic mode to get your money out there growing for you. So every time you get paid and you put a portion of that money, I would say a large portion, I want you to start 15, 20%, and you put it towards investments specifically. You invest it in the stock market. You text your brokers, you say, hey, $200. Next week, another $200. Whatever it is, you're artificially bringing your paycheck now to 80%, and now you have to get into fight or flight mode. You have to figure out how do I live off of this money? And you instantly get rid of frivolous things, like Starbucks or buying some fancy piece of clothing or whatever, and you get into survival mode. But the good news is that 20% that you're putting aside is silently growing and creating more money for you forever. And that's the beautiful thing. Once you get in the habit of denying yourself frivolity and just crap, your money is secretly growing forever. And your 50-year-old self is going to be so happy that your 25, 30, 40-year-old self decided to start getting disciplined. And it's simple little decisions. People think they can't get out of this mess. Believe me, you were in the same mess when you made less money. You're going to be in the same mess when you make more money. Your income will go up. This is the least amount of money you'll ever make in your entire life, most likely. You're starting with this amount. Now, you have 100% of your soldiers, every paycheck. Your soldiers are your money. What are you going to do with them? Are you going to sporadically, chaotically assign them here and there and have no idea what you're doing? Are you going to be a good general? What I would do is take 20% of my soldiers and say, you go make more babies and you grow. You populate this place. And you see, every time you get money, you put them away. You say, you go to work. You guys go to work and I'll deal with you 80%. 10% you guys go attack this part. 20% you go attack the House bill, whatever it may be. But you get rid of that first 20%, and you deal with that artificially low number. And it's going to cause you to be in fight or flight mode, which is really good. And the great thing is, I love it because you'll be looking every few months, peeking at your investments, and you'll start seeing, wow, that 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 is just constantly growing by like 1,000 here, 200 here, 500 here. And you'll slowly, steadily see that money be its own machine. And that's what you're trying to do. So my second point is you want to get to $100,000 in your investments as fast as possible. And believe me, if you break down your spending for the last 5 years, you probably spent $100,000 in nonsensical spending. And once you're at the reason 100,000 is so good is because, first of all, it feels good to say you have 6 figures saving up and working for you. And you want to do it as early as you possibly can. Because 100,000, you can safely bet that if you add nothing to it, if I just gave you $100,000, every 7 years it will double. So, because that's just compound interest. It grows by 10%. That 10% gets reinvested. So 100,000 will be 200,000 in 7 years. And in 14 years, it'll be 400,000. And in 21 years, it'll be 800,000. 28 years, 1.6 million. Just letting it sit there. So the good thing is so anybody can get to that point, but you want to get to it as fast as you possibly can to get it growing. But if you're adding to it while it's compounding, I mean, you're going to become a millionaire faster than you can imagine. It's really just discipline and denial. And so here's the another part to that. So when you're getting rid of 10, 20, 30% of your paycheck the minute you get it, whatever you can basically afford where it makes you uncomfortable, if you could, once you get rid of that money, you now have, let's say 80% left over. You assign it for your house payment, all your bills, your gas, your food, you budget everything out. And then within those budgets, things that are fungible, like food, you don't really need to spend as much as you're going to spend on food, or you don't need to go like your fund money or whatever. You could take those pockets of money and play around with them and try saving within those pockets of money, because you're pretending like you're making less money. You're desperate. Meanwhile, your money's secretly growing for you. But it makes your life become like a game. Now that you are disciplined enough to throw money to the side and get out and working for you, you now have this like 80% you're playing with. You're like, but you're never really that worried, because if anything really goes wrong where you need, like if you're getting the habit of saving $1,000, $2,000 a month, which is doable for everybody. I could sit down with anybody and do their bills. Anybody that's making a reasonable income can do that. It gets harder with kids and everything, but if you have no kids and you're single, man, you could just kill it, become a big giver. But anyways, you make your life become a game. And when stuff goes wrong in your life and you start panicking or whatever, you can always just stop investing for that month or that week or whatever. I try to invest as regular and as frequent as I can. I don't want it to be a monthly thing. I want it to be every time I get money thing, I invest wherever the money comes from. Every time I get a tax return, boom, invest all of it. That money was surprised. Most people aren't planning on what they're going to do with their tax return. Get rid of it. Go invest it. Take that $3,000 to $5,000. Don't go and on this crazy elaborate vacation. Go get it working for you to get to that $100,000 as fast as you can, because you want to build this mechanism to constantly be making you money. When you're sleeping, when you're scrolling, when you're pooping, whatever you're doing, that money is always growing, and that's what you want. So every time money comes in, you get birthday money, invest part of it. You get into a car accident, insurance pays you $5,000 or whatever, and you got just cosmetic damage. Deal with the cosmetic damage. Take that money and go invest it. There are so many things that I've done throughout my life where I got this surprise money, and I'm already in the habits of getting rid of it. I just want to see that nest egg grow because my 50-year-old self is going to be so happy. You can just assume that everything you invest is like depending on how much time you have, is like 4 to 10 times the amount of money when you're at retirement age. So every $5,000 I put in, I have $50,000 for my retired self. So, and when you start doing that, you start realizing, first, it kind of rewires your brain to, I want to go make more money because I want to get this working for me even more. It gives you peace in your workplace where you're not feeling like you're just living paycheck to paycheck. You feel like you own your life and own what you're doing. So you don't feel so bad for like taking off for work or maybe missing something or whatever. It's like you're at peace. You know that you have another you slowly growing. So like, let's just say you make $100,000 a year. Wow, you're killing it. Most people making $100,000 a year, every time they get paid, their money's gone. What is that? $2,000 a week? Wow, that's great. So $4,000 a month, taxes and insurance, you bringing home, $3,200 or whatever. That money is gone all the time. You're making $100,000. How is your money gone? But really, if you get, basically what you're trying to do as fast as you can is get to $1 million, because then your million is making you exactly what you make a year. You could theoretically just retire but you won't want to. That's what I mean. Like once you see your money start growing, every side hustle you do, every time you sell something, every little thing you do, you can add to that nest egg to get to that point faster. And you start realizing that your money is now not a burden. Your money is not killing you. You don't feel desperate to make more. You feel in control and patient. Your decisions become a little bit wiser. You become a little less frantic because now you have your money just you're freeing. You're using it as a tool. And that's what the amazing thing is. And that's another thing I encourage. You're married, you have kids. Let's say your household income is around $100,000, which is about what a lot of middle class people have right now. If you're getting, $10,000, $20,000 out there working for you, it's only 7 years before you're at $100,000, 6 years, because that compounding the whole time. Which, I mean, that's amazing. And then I recommend, hey, we have our money under control. Let's find a side hustle. My brother's a perfect example. He stumbled into Cart Buddies, and now that income that he's making, he is able to, he could lifestyle creep the heck out of that thing. I don't know exactly how much he's making, but he's going to be on the podcast. But he could decide, like, I need a nicer house, I need a nicer car, I need a nicer this. Or he can wait 2 years to really feel what this is actually doing, and he could invest almost all of it. Every bit that comes in, he could throw towards Bitcoin, he could throw towards silver, he could throw towards his stocks, and think about it. That money is just going to be spent on bullcrap, or you could get it out growing forever. If you get that nest egg built up to $500,000 or whatever, he will guarantee have $50,000 a year on average forever. So it's like the Cart Buddy money, almost the business doesn't even matter that much anymore because you have that constant $50,000 off the 500. So especially if you get a big inheritance or money, it is so important to put money aside because your spending will be the death of you. This is why people go bankrupt with millions and millions of dollars, because things catch up with them. Now, I'm in a situation where everything that comes my way, whatever surprise it is, unless it's drastic medical, will be fine because I've set myself up a massive barrier where my biggest bill is my investments, and I'm always going to keep it that way. I don't know if I'm going to change anything in the next 10 years. And then B, since I've been investing and the money's been growing, if anything big or bad happens, I can always use that money. It's mine. I can take it out. Whatever you were making 3 years ago, you were able to survive. Now pretend that's what's happening. Obviously within reason. If you're crippling debt, there's another whole other conversation. I'm not talking to people that are in crippling debt. talking to people that just don't know how to get out of their horrible situation of all their money leaving every time they get it. I promise you, if you're making around 100 grand as a couple, which most people are, you can easily, everyone's making that as a couple. Anybody that's in their 40s, or if you're not, then you go get a better job or work more hours. But collectively, if you and your spouse are making around 100 grand, 90, whatever it is, you could be getting rid of a lot of your money, and you will think twice about spending. You'll think twice about helping that one person out that you really couldn't afford to help. You'll start seeing your money differently, because your future self and God are the most important things to think of. You need to take care of your future self. You need to give, joyfully. You need to give to God, because that's where everything comes from. Start being a good steward of your money. Anyways, that's kind of my theory on hard to spend. You get rid of it. Because really, when you start getting rid of your money and you start getting rid of your first fruits, you will find it really difficult to buy that thing that you wanted to buy. You're at Costco and you're like, I really want this outdoor patio furniture for $1,500. Well, you already gave away that money. You don't have it in there. So it makes it hard to spend. The only way to get it is that in that irrational moment, you call your investors and you say, transfer money over to my checking account. Then you have to wait 1 to 2 days, 3 days maybe, and that money comes in. And are you still going to want that patio furniture after all that? Probably not. So it really keeps a safe haven against your psychotic spending. So that's what I like. Same with silver. If you bought silver, which is not my ideal investment, but I started doing that just because I wanted to get rid of my money fast so I don't spend it, and it happened to just grow like crazy recently, which is awesome, which is another thing you'll start seeing. When you make smart money decisions, good things seem to happen more and more because you're not frantic all the time. But anyways, if I wanted to go and buy that, mini refrigerator when I was younger, I would have to go do the walk of shame and go talk to Jeff and say, I got to sell 100 ounces. And he'd be like, what the heck, man? Why are you doing that? I thought, it'll kind of reiterate your game plan and the stuff you said. And you're like, yeah, you're right. And you won't sell it because it's a walk of shame. So always set yourself up to have to take the walk of shame when you're doing it with your money. So like I said, I'm speaking to middle-class people. I'm speaking to people that have a great income that can't find themselves to be able to invest that money. If you want to take away anything, make your money hard to spend by investing your first everything, no matter what, and make your biggest bill. This is the second goal, your investments. If your biggest bill right now is your house payment, try matching that. Try seeing if you can wiggle that in. If your biggest bill is a $1,600 rent or house payment, try investing $1,600. Pretend like you stupidly bought that big house and you now have a $3,200 house payment. Oh my gosh, I have a $3,200 house payment. Pretend like it's that. And then just keep making it. Keep figuring it out like you made that stupid purchase. And after a while, you realize like, wow, I'm able to make this $3,200 a month house payment. Oh my gosh, something went wrong. I only can afford, oh wait, half of that is artificial. That's kind of how it's going to feel. You're going to start realizing that if I artificially inflate what my investments are, what my bills are, bad things seem to be easier to be taken. Bad things are easier to take care of. So yeah, pretend like your bills are worse. I round up everything on bills. I've always done this in business. Materials are going to be $14.32. No, materials are $50. It's like whatever it is, I always round up on that because you're never taking into account for everything. And then I round down on what my income's going to be. If I make $1,600 a month or a week or every 2 weeks, I only make $1,500. If it's like $1,592, it's only $15. And I round down on good stuff, round up on bad stuff. And then there's magic money right there if you just have that mentality. That's what any real successful business owner will have, that round up, round down mentality. That's a huge, huge thing that, just little things that you can do. You gamify your life. I want to end with this. Everything you have comes from God. He blesses us because he's a good God and he loves us. If you look at your child, and he asked you for a fish, would you give him a stone? How much more does your God love you? He clothes the lilies of the field with the most beautiful colors that even the kings can't obtain. How much more does he care about you? He throws those into the fire the next day. God loves you. He gives. He's a good God. He's not Santa Claus. He's not seeing if you're naughty or nice and make sure you're giving. So he gives. He gives because he loves to give, and he's a good God. You can't outgive him. You can't give more to get more. God is a good gift giver. He loves you because you are his. So take that money and be a good steward of it. Take those blessings, be a good steward of it. Always give God praise in everything you do. And this is the stuff that I live by. So as money comes in, as money slows down, whatever it is, I'm giving God glory because I know all I have comes from him, and I'm thankful for it. And the reason I want to be a good steward is a couple of reasons. I want to give to my kids when they get older. I want to be able to provide for them like crazy. I don't want to be able to stress and yell at my wife all the time because I'm stressed about money. I want to be in control of my money. I want to sit down. I want to dream with my wife and go over plans, and I want to be good stewards of it. And also, I want to give like no one else. I want to see a need, and without even thinking about it, be able to give joyfully, not even knowing who I am. I want God to smile down on that. I want to store my treasures up in heaven. Everything I have is from him. And I want to store my treasures up in heaven to realize that I didn't rely on money. I didn't love money. I love people. I want to see the needy. I don't want to just pray for them. I want to help them. And be faithful with the little you have. And when you have more, he's going to bless you with more, So be faithful with what's little you have. As every one of us have a little bit, we like to hold on to it, control it, be angry with it, be bitter, whatever it is. Let go of that control and start coming up with awesome systems and game plans so you can be free from the crutches, the grips of greed or whatever. So anyways, I think money is really hard to talk about with a lot of people, especially Christians. It is not bad to be wealthy. It's bad to love money. It's bad to rely on it like it's going to be your savior. It's not. It's going to cause you to be depressed and down if that's how you see it. Use it as a tool. It's a gift from God, and go out and do something with it. I hope this was encouraging to you, and thanks for watching.